There are many upcoming top 1s being verified nowadays. From Grief to Heliopolis to Angelicide to Cosmos Unleashed to Society to Grief to Tsunami Wave Infinity? Anyways, but in the middle of nowhere, double pop off verified Society. If you don't know, Society is a level made by neobarmilan, which is a sequel to another level that is also getting verified called Escalator.
Yes, I'm a simp.
So I decided to try it and see how hard it actually is. Alright, so I already have 3% because I played a little bit before starting recording. But now let's play with practice mode and let's see how hard this is. Alright, this first yellow orb isn't that hard, honestly. It's kinda weird, the first click. And then we have whatever this is. Alright, so this has to be like a 120, right? The cube barely fits inside this. But it's pretty hard when you literally can't see. Like, if I pause here, it's literally just black. Dude, I literally can't see anything, bro. How are you supposed to do this click? Oh, I did it. This beginning is just like, there are some timings which look like this, and then in the middle of nowhere there's a free timing. I don't mean like that is a problem, but it's kind of funny. This is actually insane for like the first 12%. Alright, this part at least I can do. Actually, what are you supposed to do here? Maybe the edge of the block, but that doesn't seem to work. Oh wait, it worked. What? I'm gonna be the next Zoink, bro. I'm actually insane at this game. Alright, so then we have this ship. So this has to have like a bunch of frame perfects, bro. Alright, this is actually easier than I thought. I literally can't see anything. This is a freaking memory level. Oh wait, you just need to hold actually. At least they didn't like make blind ship gameplay. Alright, what is this? And why is it so tight? Dude, Zoink is streaming the level now and he already got 74. It's been a month since I recorded this. And while editing the video, Zoink already beat it in only 12 streams. Yeah. I was watching his stream and literally he was passing this part always. I thought this was like easier than it looked. But apparently not. Like, what is this timing, bro? It's like a ship 3 frame or something on 2-4. Alright, so we are in a UFO now. Also, this level has pretty good decoration. What the frick? What is this? Oh, I just did. These UFO gaps are so bad, bro. This is like the worst UFO I've ever seen. Oh, you have to click faster. The thing is, like, the UFO is already insanely hard, but also the camera triggers aren't helping at all. Alright. Oh! Alright, but the UFO just ended, and then we are at this part, which also, like... What? This has to be a 2-4, right? Dude, I actually can't do it. Oh! I did it, finally! Dude, this level is actually insane. And also, this is a pre-drop, by the way. Alright, this looks easy. What I'm noticing is that this level has some easy timings, and then in the middle of nowhere, there's like an impossible pixel perfect click. Alright, so here we have some easy clicks. Or at least clicks that aren't that hard. And we're at a drop, and... What is this? I'm a wave carried player, so this must be easy to me, right? Alright, we start with a very bad transition. Oh! I did it! I did 48 to 50, that was the hardest thing ever. Right, most of the timings I think there are like 3 frames or something. Maybe 2 frames on the 240 FPS. These clicks are actually insane, like doing a bunch of them in a row. Yeah, and then we have this. This is literally a free mini wave. This wave is actually so precise, it's insane. I mean, it's obviously expected for a top 1, but still kinda impressive that a human did this. I think Society is a UFO level, like, seriously. Look at this UFO click! And then this click is not that hard. Is it a double click? Oh, it's a double click. This part is very synced to the music, I think I can do this. Oh wait, actually that click isn't a double click. It's just a pretty hard click, I guess. Oh, I did it! I think this is one of the easier parts of the level, like that sync part. This part also looks very hard. Wait, how did I do that? What is this release? This has to have like D-blocks or something, right? It literally doesn't have anything. I literally just accidentally like did a pixel perfect release. So I literally can't get past these saw blades for some reason. Hi guys, if you're liking the video so far, consider dropping a like or even subscribing, only if you want of course. This is my first content video and that really helps the channel grow. Again, I'm not forcing anyone, but I would really appreciate if you did that. But anyways, let's get back. Let's ignore what I just did there and let's just continue. These look like 240s, bro. And I already saw a frame window counter, but I actually don't remember it. But I remember something, so not that bad actually. And then we have whatever this is. Alright, I did it, finally! The decoration is actually so good. This has to be at least legendary, right? Alright, this ship is something else. And we got past the wave, and we are at the UFO. I like this UFO because you literally can see where the player is. But the timings at least aren't that hard. It's just the fact that you can see. Alright, 73. Oh no. This is literally just unplayable. I don't know if there's a setting like to disable this or something. Actually, I know what to do. Alright, so we're watching a showcase now. Alright bro, what is this? Alright, I already know about this gap, but it's just insane. Then we have another interesting UFO click. Then we have some other things. I think this is not that hard. And then we have whatever this is. And then there's a memory part at the end. And the level ends right here with a... I literally can't understand what's happening. This is literally memory. Alright, now we're gonna watch a frame perfect counter and a frame window counter. I already saw the frame windows, but I never saw the frame perfect. And also this video is made by Latin, so it's probably gonna be very accurate. And we already got a 120 right there. I was already expecting that click to be a 120, so it's not really a surprise. Oh, another one. Wait, that click is a 122? This click I can understand, but this... Oh, no, it's not a greener, right? I thought it was the greener. Oh yeah, that click is also pretty hard. The ship is probably filled with 60 FPS frame perfects, I think. Oh, and then... Alright, so I knew the UFO was hard. Now let's see these parts. Alright, so that click is obviously impossible because it's a 240. So, wait, why is that blue orb 120? I didn't realize that. Alright, let's see the drop. Oh wait. Alright, so it has some. Obviously the mini wave clicks are 120s. And that click is also 120. Alright, wait, that click isn't one? Alright, that's weird. And then we have another, I think it was a 240 I guess. Wait, I'm kinda surprised this click is even possible in 120 FPS. 24 frame perfects on 120 FPS is crazy. For those who don't know, TS2 has 20. Probably there's no like... Oh wait, never mind. There is more. I thought... Dude! What? Alright, I thought there was no 120 in this ending. Alright, so... 27. That's insane, bro. Now let's see 60 FPS. Alright, until now I think every click is possible, which is kind of surprising. The only impossible click so far, I think it was like the 240 there. Oh, and obviously the wave has a bunch of them. Yeah, this is just insane. Wait. What? How is this click a 60 FPS frame perfect? You literally just have to hold here. Alright guys, in my defense I have a 60Hz monitor, so it was pretty fast and I didn't see that it wasn't. The frame perfects here are actually the release and the next click. Now, is the last click a frame perfect? Alright, it isn't. So in total we got 128 frame perfects on 60 FPS and 27 frame perfects on 120 FPS. Right, so now we're gonna see the frame window counter. This is made by NenGD and I have already watched this, but I only remember the frame perfect, so I guess I'm gonna watch again. Alright, so here we have the frames. And also this is kinda wrong because for example, a 60 FPS frame perfect ranges from a 4 frame to 6 frame. And also a 120 FPS frame perfect ranges from 2 frame to 3 frame. So it's kinda inaccurate to count frame perfect on other FPS using 240 FPS. Oh, there's so many 3 frames. Oh, that's a 3 frame. Alright, so that's a 2 frame. This UFO has some interesting timings, I guess. Of course that's a frame perfect. Alright, so that's a 2 frame. That is actually very hard. For some reason. Alright, so I'm expecting a lot of 3 frames. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, these flicks are kinda easy. Alright, this is just... I don't know, it's so many 3 frames. Yeah, it's a lot. Those are 3 frames, so that's why this part is so hard. Alright, that's a 2 frame, I was actually expecting that. Then there's a 1 frame. I'm kinda surprised these are 4 frames. Alright, so maybe there's no 2 frame now. Oh, and it can be a 240. Nice. Alright, so this level has 2 240s and it can actually be 3 depending on frame alignment. 11 2 frames, 34 3 frames, and then the rest it's also a lot. And that's it, that's society. I actually don't know how a human can do this. After watching the video, I forgot to record only GD instead of the entire screen, and because of that, the footage ended up lagging. A lot. But I was basically playing from zero and I actually got 4%. Now, what do I think about the level? I think Society is a very unique level. It has good decoration, though for the gameplay I honestly don't know if it's fun or not, since I can barely play the level. Also, I see some people saying that it isn't a good top 1, but those are probably the same people who like hell-themed levels, so... Now, I'm not hating on anyone, everyone has different opinions, of course. In my opinion, I think this is a good top 1, but if you have a different opinion, that's totally fine. You can also comment your opinion down below if you want. I would be really curious to see what you guys think. The only thing that I kinda hate about it is the end screen. It has the same problem as Amethyst basically. I think I've only seen the society text like 3 times in my life because it's just way too long. And I don't have a short attention span, by the way. Now let's compare Society to other levels. Alright, so here's the frame windows and frame perfects on Society. And let's start with Thinking Space 2. As you can see, it only wins on the 4 frames, but we also have to remember that a lot of the 3 frames and especially 2 frames are at the end. And one of them actually can be a 240, I think it's like 50% chance or something. Alright, so here's Amethyst. It actually wins on the easier timings. And also one of the 2 frames can be a 240 sometimes. Now let's see some upcoming top 1. Starting with Grief, it's the same situation as Amethyst, but literally look at the 5-6 frames. Another thing, the frame perfect count is actually outdated. The only frame perfect count that I could find was like 1 year ago, so probably there's more now. Alright, so here's Sweeping Demon 2. This is the latest version I could find, and I also didn't find the frame perfect counter, but it definitely has harder timings. Also, one of the 1 frames is actually on the cube copter, which boosts the difficulty a little bit because it's, I don't know, that cube copter is insane. Alright, so here's Heliopolis. This is the latest version I could find, but this will be very outdated. Because Society just got verified, Heliopolis will be buffed, so yeah. Here's Cosmos Unleashed. I actually don't know if the frame perfects are outdated. Society basically loses to this level. I mean, it has more 240s, but still. And for the last one we got Aeternus. Actually, I think it's kinda close.